guys. Welcome to You're Not Invited. I am Shawnee Sanders.
Hey, I'm Nikki DeVerger.
And I am Jack Sams.
And we are here to give you guys a rundown of the last 2 weeks of what's been happening in social media, reality TV, and whatever other gossip we can come up with. Okay. So exactly. Like I said, it's been a lot going on these past 2 weeks. It really has been. And I think I like it that we do it every 2 weeks because it does give us a lot more to talk about.
Yes.
It sure does.
It does. It really do versus every week. And then we got to come up with stuff. But first, let's get right into what's been, I know you got to come up with shit. Let's get right into it. Okay. So the big thing that's been trending a lot of things have been trending, but one of the big things that's been trending lately is the divorce between Drew and her husband. What's his name again? What's his name?
It's Ralph Pittman.
Oh.
Drew and Ralph.
Yes.
Between them, it has been trending like crazy all over social media. And you know what's so crazy? Me and Jack was talking about this earlier is that we kind of saw
it play out.
Them go through. Yeah, it kind of played out on the show on the last season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes, it did. You saw trouble. Of course, they were open about their trouble. We just didn't realize how much trouble it was. It was always something shady. He seemed very manipulative, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Narcissistic. He seemed a little bit of that. Then he would seem a little kind. Then he would seem a little bit like, where did you go in Tampa? Remember that whole Tampa scandal?
Oh my God.
Who were you with in Tampa? Why did she know you were gone? Or, there was a lot of information that was left out about the whole Tampa Gate. You know what I'm saying? Tampa Gate was on popping. And then
and I think the whole season she was trying to get that information about Tampa. I don't think he really gave it to her.
He was good.
Like, he didn't give a good answer.
No,
he was good.
He's good. He knows how to play it. But
he's gonna be good by himself. So how you like that?
The thing that has I've seen some of these media influencers talk about when they broke the story about there was allegedly some abuse. Definitely, it was verbal abuse, but physical, like that there was an alleged situation where he pushed her down the stairs.
Oh gosh!
There was an alleged situation where he cursed out her mother in front of the kids. It was alleged that they argued a lot in front of their children. That it was very toxic. So I'm not surprised because you saw some of this
play out on the screen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they did say that she put in her divorce filing that he was physically aggressive and a serial cheater. So she did put that
like
in.
She summed it up correctly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But it's also sad when you see black marriages not work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. Like what's been also talked about a lot on social media is that they say that 80% of the time women are the ones who initiate divorce. And so a lot of their men thinking is that women are the ones who are unhappy. Women are the ones who can't seem to make their marriages work because men are not the ones going forth with a divorce.
Right.
And someone I think brought up something that I thought was really important to the conversation where they said, back in the day, women were the traditional housewives. They depended on their husbands for everything.
Right.
So of course they would stay in those abusive marriages where they were not really taken care of and really neglected and really unhappy because they didn't have any other
backup plan. They didn't have a plan.
Exactly.
Right.
Their only plan was to go back home to their parents.
Right. And that's real. No, that's real.
So do you think that's the reason why a lot of these marriages back in the days lasted so long? Because women
they
dealt with a lot of things.
With it. And if you remember, like, if you talk to anybody that's been married, like older women that's been married for like 30, 40 years, they tell you like, babe, we've been through some stuff.
We've been through things. Yeah.
We've been through a lot, but they stuck through it. Although they weren't happy during times, they stuck through it. And now they're saying that today women are, we're part of the workforce. We're leaders in our community. We're leaders at our jobs. And now we have options where we don't have to stay in those type of relationships anymore. We can leave and be financially okay.
We gotta really talk about the mental capacity and of our black men. It's like, why do they feel that it's okay to treat black women the way that they have been showing in some of these relationships? Because that's extremely toxic. That's extremely a bad issue that needs to be handled. Because personally, I do know there's a lot of black men who do not like going to therapy because therapy is where it's at. Some people don't realize that they have certain issues or triggers that can cause people to respond in a certain way or manner or deal with things in a certain way. And that needs to be addressed. And us as the black community, we look down on therapy, and I think it needs to be looked upon differently.
Well, the thing about it is you're right on, Nikki, when you talk about that we need tools. Like every marriage, anything that's working, anything that's everything needs tools. A car needs tools, a house, anything that we all need tools. And the thing about it is that when it comes to relationships, that's the last. We're going to take our car to get an oil change. We're going to take our we're going to fix the broken fridge, but we don't fix ourselves. We're just not accustomed to it. And it's interesting. As you guys are talking, I'm thinking about it. Like this podcast right now is not necessarily the norm. We're all married women in different stages of our marriage. Like you're newly married. You've been married in mid. I've been married a long time. And so we know that each stage that it takes work and it takes tools, but most of us are not in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the conversation about sticking with it or about getting the tools or about, there's not a lot of us that have the foundation of working for it. 'Cause you have to work for it and work at it no matter what.
Yeah. And that's what I think it is too. 'Cause it's like, I mean, listen, marriage is not for the faint of hearts, yo. It's not fucking easy. But it's numerous times where I feel like I don't even want to do this shit no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And early on, I've had those thoughts like this.
Yeah. And I feel like, you go through that bumpy road when you first get married, you know what I'm saying? And you go through some real tough stuff. I'm going through some tough stuff. Yeah. And you get in a place where you're contemplating, should I just walk away?
Right.
Is this for me anymore? Right. You know what I'm saying?
And for Drew, she's on TV.
She's on TV. And
exactly.
Going through
God.
this
10 times.
Right?
Oh my God.
So you can go.
It's hard
in the privacy of your home.
Yes.
Right. So you're on a whole TV show. You're, like the thing about it is you're an actress, right? So let's talk about that. She's an actress, right? That was in one genre of entertainment. Now I'm going to reality, which quote unquote is not necessarily the steps that you want to go. It could be looked down on from regular actors. Oh, you're going into reality. You're not an actress, but she understood that she needed to create more opportunities for herself. Then you get on and you got a shaky marriage. All right.
Yes.
Then she had a child before the marriage.
Yeah.
That played out too with him. Remember, he didn't want to
adopt her son.
Her son, right?
Yeah.
Which he said some good points about, that his father, was around and is like, had just recently came back around and he didn't want to interrupt that. And I understand. But then remember, he came out with the book about their situation and she didn't know nothing about it. So you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, that one to give him massages, remember?
It's real shady. Oh my goodness.
So there was but it plays out on TV, and no matter what, you really, anytime you get on these platforms, you're doing it so that you can help build your brand. But then how much it's like the line between reality and
real life.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
this is reality, but this is reality. And now I got to do all of this in my professional persona, and then my personal persona is just out there.
That's difficult because, as me being an entrepreneur as well, I limit what I want my customers and followers to know about me in my real life. And it's like, that's even harder on TV for you to even figure out or not allow that, so I don't think I could do reality TV.
It'll be hard.
It's not easy.
Because you know why? You do have to let people into your life. You know what I'm saying? All aspects of it. If you want people to connect with you, because we connect with people's stories. Yeah. That's what I say about my Girl Taking the Podcast. It's all about telling women's stories because we connect with each other through each other's stories and we see ourselves through it. And just like with Robin and Juan Dixon, you know what I mean? It's like what could have played out on camera, which is why everyone's so upset about it. They decided not to share that because they felt like, well, we've been through that a few months ago. We don't want to deal with it again. When at the same time, it's like, but you postponed your marriage from getting married because you was working through that.
Right.
And people could have saw that and been able to relate more to your story versus them coming up all this false narrative about Chris. What's his name? What's her name? What's her name? Candace's husband. Chris, the whole thing about him being inappropriate. And I'm talking about this because I'm leading into the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. So the reunion has begun. There's 3 parts to it. And the first part, just kind of like to sum it up, they really got into more so of just the dynamics of the relationship. They talked about Ashley because Ashley got divorced from her husband. Mm-hmm. And what we realized in that divorce that she came out with nothing from that divorce. Crazy. Which was so crazy because he had such an iron tight prenup that she wasn't aware. You know what I'm saying? That, and I think she married him and I think she signed that prenup based off that 5-year period because right at 5 years is when they got divorced. Right. So 5 years she'll be able to get half of whatever. She'll be able to get whatever she needed if she had kids, child support. Oh. And then it happened. And then all she's getting is child support. She don't even get spousal support.
Mm-hmm. Something is like what she thought, what she expected is not necessarily happening. No. Which that played out on TV too, because at one point they were gonna divorce, and he asked her to stay on a little longer. So I'm thinking that there was something that he put in.
Why maybe she didn't know.
Yeah, and, like there was
because he was able to come out a winner on this,
which
and everyone was shocked.
The thing about it is that he makes the money. He made his money. I'm not completely upset about that. I mean, you want to make sure that you're taken care of. You can see that there was, some maybe dependency, love / it was a little blurred lines of things. I'm pretty sure that there was love. I'm pretty sure that there was needing to be taken care of. And that's not necessarily, people look down on it, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? You choose based on your needs, if I need a lot of love, I'm going, if I need a little support, I'm going to, so I don't really, I don't look bad on it. The thing about it is that what that's saying is that we need to be more informed.
Yes.
And why we're choosing, you know what I mean? And we have to be a little bit more open, open our eyes in our life and see really what it is that I really want, and see if this person is and can
what I really want.
That I really
exactly.
Want. Or are they just a representation of what I think? So to me, it's and it's crazy how these reality shows, you end up seeing all of this, you know what I'm saying? Even though they maybe choose what they share, you kind of see this thing unlocking, which is an interesting on why they say that that when you have a relationship, don't get on a reality show. Because
I don't want to be in a reality show. And I could be a guest on your reality show as a friend, but I'm not talking about my life. That's none of your business. Now, one thing I do want to say is I think people have a tendency to say you need to keep your relationship to yourself. I disagree. I think that you do need, just like how you need a community to raise your kids, you need a community to help with your marriage. You need to have a good set of friends that you can trust who are already married.
Yeah.
And or who have been married, who can relate, and who can be brutally honest, and who you can trust. Because there's no way that you're going to be able to make it through your life being married with somebody and holding all of that stuff in. You're going to explode.
Oh,
you understand what I'm saying? It can turn really ugly. And I'm grateful for my friends who I can talk to and actually tell me about myself or say you really weren't right to do that, or, maybe you're looking at it the wrong way, or, and I'm grateful to have that. And I think everybody should have that, and I'm not sitting here saying you need to tell everybody all your business, but you need to be able to talk to somebody, even if it's a therapist or somebody.
It's important.
You need help.
Listen,
it's important.
It's important. I know, Sean. We could take this topic all the way over here, but it's so important because we do need the support. We don't even realize
we need it.
We need it because I think about just us in our regular, schmegular, everyday life. Where we
need help
up
with that.
And we really, us personally, there's your personal needs, and then there's your professional needs, and then there's your marriage needs. We need help. And the fact that, right now, I love TV, and I, of course, want to be, I wouldn't mind being on a show, but then I thought, man, in this last couple of months, would I have wanted to show up in what I personally was feeling that way? How would I show up? I probably wouldn't recognize myself because I ain't recognize myself in just my regular easy. So it's not easy what they're doing. You know what I mean?
It's not easy. But like I said, I'll be the friend coming to visit on the show.
Yeah.
You can go
because being on
whatever.
Yeah, being on TV can do it because we look at what happened with the Housewives of Potomac with Chris Bassett and his wife. Not Chris Bassett. I'm sorry. What's their names, Jackie? What are their names? God, I'm so bad with names. What is wrong? Monique.
Not Monique. Monique, the one that went to the other show?
That went over to, not Potomac, but went over to Love and Marriage DC.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow.
Monique and her husband. Is his name Chris, too?
I feel like it is. But
okay, everybody, I don't know. About.
I feel like it is.
I don't know.
Monique, yes. Not Chris Bassett. That's Candace and Chris on the Housewives of Potomac. But we're talking about Love and Marriage. Love and Marriage DC. Okay, yeah. And Monique and her husband, I thought they had such a strong marriage. First of all, when they came on the Housewives of Potomac, they had a very strong marriage.
Yeah.
They left that show, and then they did their own show.
Well, do you remember the drama with the mother?
Well, yes. Yeah, with the mother.
And
the mother never liked her.
Do you also remember the thought there was something that was kind of sprinkled in that she was with a trainer or something like that?
Yes, so it was.
There was some.
It was. You know, this whole thing about her drinking and getting into an accident.
Yes, and
it was little things playing out.
That you could see that wasn't really coming to light, which I understand. But there were little sprinkles of trouble in the waters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to what I'm saying is that to see them now, they're married, they're separated. You know what I mean? And it was on Love and Marriage DC.
They did, so I didn't know.
And we did see it play out on Love and Marriage DC. So yeah, they did separate. They're officially separated.
Is there anybody that stays together on these shows?
There are.
Like it's not.
You know, it's crazy. They were married a long time. They were.
But like I would say, Tamela Mann and her husband had a reality show. They
stayed married.
The married.
It's not based on what these people are talking about. Tamela Mann.
No, but I mean, they had some family things play out, and I think that's important. Like it really, not to say that all faith-based people, but you do have to pull on something other than yourself.
Yes,
yeah.
And so like, because literally, you think about it, I could sit here and get lost in online watching.
Yeah,
YouTubes and watching this and watching that, and you can get sucked up into a story, and then you kind of question your life. So imagine if you don't have anything to kind of ground you, and I think that's what's happening. Like we're a bunch of humans, because we are human. We be life and human
life be life and all the
human
time.
Be humanins, right. And you get on TV, and you don't have a foundation of like.
A faith.
Like the thing, it's crazy. So remember, my husband wrote a book about being a cheater and getting over and like telling women how they could spot it. And there, like, we had went through a time where I had asked a question about the past, and it completely turned the relationship into like, wait a minute, I didn't know, and I had to say, stop that book right now. We ain't promoting that book right now until we figure out where we are right now. You know what I'm saying? And so we weren't in reality at that point. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew us like that. And so it's kind of like, can you imagine going through
playing out on TV?
That's
in front of the whole world, and everybody having something to say about your marriage, about how you're acting, about how you're being in your marriage, about your husband, how your husband's being in your marriage. Right. It's a lot of pressure. It really is. So, those who can do it, it's a lot of pressure. You know what? Listen, getting back to the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion.
Oh, you talk about Chris. I don't want to.
Chris Bassett. Chris Bassett.
I was very mad that they were trying to insinuate that man was trying to get up.
And it came out to say that Giselle.
Trying to get up with
it said that, you know what, listen, but let me tell you what happened. It said that Giselle, Robin, and Ashley had a conversation and planned to make sure that they had something that they can target this season, because Robin, didn't want to deal with her own cheating allegations in her marriage. She didn't want to bring it up. And it's so funny, on the reunion show, she had the audacity to say to Andy that, I thought Cameron was going to bring it up, but she didn't. And he said to her, well, why would she have to bring up what you're going through in your life?
Right.
With your husband? Why couldn't you just bring it out? Because her thing was, but we had already dealt with it. He said, but no, because you pushed your marriage back. your date of your marriage back until you guys went through counseling and dealt with the issue that you was going through. So why would you depend on somebody else? So they try to come up with this false narrative about Chris and saying that Chris is being flirty and Chris is being inappropriate.
I was so happy that production kept on. Every time they said it, at least production came in and showed what actually happened. Like
what actually happened.
And I couldn't wait for the reunion show.
Listen, and you know what? Wendy said something that was very true. She said Giselle has a habit of trying to attack people's marriages because she's tried to do it with Wendy and her husband. You know what I mean? Try to say Wendy's husband was out there having some type of allegation of cheating rumor last season. And she said that, Giselle have a habit of doing that. And if you look at her history, she do have a habit of doing that. And Andy asked her something that I thought was important too, is that he said to her, he said, you always have something to say or something to dig up about everybody else's relationship.
Because she wants to take it over her.
But yet we never get to see your relationship. We never get to see who you're dating. We never get to see who you're with. Everything about you is so quiet, but you're talking about everybody else's stuff.
And she does it with conviction. She does it with a lot of like I have the right to say this. You are wrong. And then when it's pointed at her, she'd be like, "That's not your business." And she's very firm in how she presents when it comes to that, and that is very true. That is very true, and I'm glad he said it because we thought it.
Because at the end of the day, she's on the show trying to keep her stuff secretive. Or you can't do that. You can't be on a show like that.
She's just trying to be a shit starter. She's trying to she's trying to make sure she have a seat at this show that nobody kicks her off because she has a boring life that nobody wants to know about.
Right. Or she doesn't want people to know about her.
But she was going through something that a lot of women go through where she had to have a hysterectomy. And she could have really shared that journey.
She shared a little bit, but that would have been,
but it would have been, Candace, like, you could have talked about that and that'd have been a real journey that women could have related to because a lot of women go through what you go through.
Right.
Fibroids and all this kind of stuff.
The thing about it is that she is that character that you love to hate, right?
Oh yeah.
And I don't hate her. I mean, I think all of those women are beautiful. But you kind of get
I kind of dislike her.
Well, no, you get disappointed. It's like you get disappointed.
Allegedly. I like how Carla says allegedly.
But it's like, it's so funny. I have a picture with her at the Beyonce concert. Okay. So
I remember.
And I remember being in the bathroom with her, and I remember feeling like somebody was looking at me, but I didn't look because we in the bathroom. I'm not looking at them. I'm washing my hands and I'm getting out.
Like, I gotta go.
And then I came out and realized, that was Giselle. And so I went up to her and was like, "Oh, can we take a picture?" And homegirl looked me up and down and looked at me in my face and said, "Yes." I was like,
who the hell?
She looked up and down, but because she's so beautiful, I'm like, well, girl, you pretty. You can look at me up and down and be like, "Hey."
But she's shady. She is so shady.
like I just saw you in the bathroom, or who are you? Let me, she looked me up and down.
She's like, "Cause it ain't like that, honey."
And you know what? Jackie
out the bathroom,
running into everybody.
We were out the bathroom by then, but it's funny. I was like, I just want to take. She's very beautiful in person. She really,
I mean, she is a beautiful woman, but she do a lot of shady stuff. The guy, yes,
the guy. I think, and so, and this is very early on because you talking about when they this must have been the first year they came out or whatever. But I remember, like,
she even looked different.
Yeah, but I was, just washing my hand. I wasn't even paying attention to who was next to me. And then when I walked out the bathroom, so she probably was like, "Chick, I was in the bathroom with you. You didn't even say nothing. You come out, you was like," but I didn't look. I didn't even look. I really didn't. I was just washing my hands, and when I was like, "Oh, I gotta talk, chummed it up with her in the bathroom." But I didn't look at her, and then I was like, "Oh, but see, I'm gonna go up because I'm a fan. Like, hey." But anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about a minute ago.
No, just Giselle and her business and how shady she is. You know what I'm saying? How she like to talk about everybody's business. But they are saying that she's dating one of the guys from another reality show. He's a younger guy too. He's like 15 years younger than her.
Oh, so I didn't know he was on. They showed the picture of him.
Yeah, he is. He's on another reality show. I forgot the name of it because, as I said, I forget shit real easy. But I forgot the name of. But he's handsome. He's cute, and she said they are dating. This reunion was good. I just saw the last piece of it where they brought back what's her name, Charisse, to the show. Right. And Andy made it very clear that Sharice did not call them and ask them to be back on the show. They called to ask Sharice to come back on the show.
I'm glad he said that.
I'm glad he said that because, we didn't know for sure. You know what I mean? Because I was like, why did they dig up Sharice? She was boring.
Well, I didn't know why she even left in the first place.
I mean, she was kind of boring, to be honest with you. Well, I don't think she had a lot going on.
At the time, yeah.
At the time,
But I think I guess because the divorce was going on too.
Yeah, but she says it's final now. So she came out okay, better than Ashley. Allegedly.
Right. Allegedly.
I love that allegedly.
As we keep talking about this wedding stuff or marriage stuff, I think you were saying something or heard something about Young Miami's views about not wanting to get married. And I know that she was getting a lot of side eye for that.
She was getting a lot of side eye for that. So Young Miami, listen, first of all, y'all already know I said it before. I love the fucking city girls, and I love my Young Miami.
I know you do.
That's because you're from Broward County.
You're from Florida, girl.
That
is with the bottom stand up. Listen, that's Florida all the way. I don't care what nobody say. That's Florida.
So that's why
born and raised.
That you relate to their stories.
I love these girls. But anyway, she's getting a lot of flack because she came on social media. I follow her on social media. And she said that she don't never want to be married. And the reason why she don't want to be married because she said motherfuckers cheat and she don't have time. She said, if I give my heart to you and I love really hard and I'm real passionate and you cheat on me, she's like, I'm going to kill you. And that's just it. She's like, so she did. She said, I'm going to kill you. She said, so I'm never going to get married. That's not something for me. That's not something I want to do. I never see my mom marry. And so people are giving her a lot of flack on it because she's already in an open relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Allegedly. She's in an open
allegedly.
It is allegedly because her and Diddy didn't really define their relationship. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if they're dating together or not. But
we don't know when it comes to that whole thing.
We don't really know. People are saying that
before this child showed up.
Oh, well, the child's been there before. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. People are giving her flat because they're like, listen, you're already in an open relationship as it is. So why are you talking about cheating? Upset? Why you be upset as though cheat on you when you're already in an open relationship? And it's like, and if you want that as a marriage, you can have that because people have open marriages, polygamy, you know what I mean? Polyamorous, whatever that is. People have those type of relationships. So they're like, you sound kind of hypocritical when you're already dating a man who's publicly dating other people.
Well, you know what? That's the whole thing. It goes back to what it really is. And so maybe she wants a traditional, maybe in her mind, if I had to have the traditional sense of marriage, I can't rock with that because I don't want to get disappointed. And people, they act like you can't change your mind.
Yeah.
You know they act like you can't shift. They act like if I think one way about this, I have to think one way about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like the thing about it is that's probably why she's in an open situation or a situationship because of her views on disappointment. And that's really most of us are not getting. We got to get to the reason, the foundation on why we say what we say, because it's foundationally probably about rejection and disappointment. Like if I get into a situation that is not, the norm, I don't have an expectation in a certain kind of way, then I can deal with it. The minute I have an expectation about something, I am going to flip. So that's why I will accept these things in my life, because if I have an expectation, it's going to disappoint me. And that's what people don't delve into. Why? Because, we don't have the time. And guess what? It goes back to those tools. We don't have the tools to see past what a person is saying. We don't have the tools to really dig a hole into the message. The message means that I don't like rejection. I don't like disappointment. And my expectations might be higher than what a person can bring to the table. I've seen the cheating. I'm in a situation where I see all this open stuff. So I am not going to expect nothing. So how about I just give it up?
And once again, she has a right to say her opinion. I don't think people should be bashing her, because if that's what she wants, that's what she wants. Just like if some people don't want to have kids, they don't want to have kids. It's your life, your decision. And I don't know why people feel that they have to basically badmouth people or say nasty things just because they're not saying or want to live the life that they want to live.
What's so crazy? This makes me think of something else, which is kind of like off normally what we talk about on this show, but it makes me think about it really brings it back to how, like I said, I'm on social media a lot. We are. And when I look at how the younger generation look at marriage, they don't look at it as a positive thing. They look at it as a person who's always going to cheat on you. You know what I mean? So what's the point of doing it? Why get married if all he going to do is cheat? You might as well just be with somebody, they're all about get money, live that best life or soft life, whatever they're living at this moment. And don't worry about marriage. Marriage sucks. Marriage is not the institution it used to be because everybody get divorced and nobody's faithful. This is how they feel about marriage.
It's because of what they're seeing.
So crazy that
there's not enough
people don't believe in it. It's like people really don't believe in it anymore. Even grown women I hear talking that just don't believe in it because of how much men cheat.
It's been it's about disappointment. It's about rejection, and it's about expectation, and that's just what it is. And it's like we said, it's a lack of growth and tools. Like nobody like a car without a tune-up does not work well.
Yeah.
So you're expecting to have these relationships work, but you're not doing any tune-ups. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. But not only that,
nothing.
I think people no support. Yes, but I think people are not getting a good reality on marriage. I think Michelle Obama is doing a real good job about talking about what marriage really looks like and what it is, because people have always glorified marriage in a way that you're not supposed to have any issues. And if nobody has any issues. And I think now with social media, all they're doing is showing marriages that don't work. There's so many marriages that do work. They talk about 50% of marriages don't last. So what about the other 50% that do last?
That do last.
I think people are harping on the negative. And then you got to also wonder, why are you dating or dealing with men who are doing these things to you, especially if that's not what you want? And I believe that if you believe that something is out there, you're going to find it, whether it's something good or whether it's something bad. And at the end of the day, I think that you got to change your mindset.
Well, definitely. And it
does come down to your belief too.
It's your belief system and your mindset. And honestly, you think about it. Like, so I watch reality TV. My kids call it, "Oh, mommy with the trash TV." They're funny because they're very judgmental about what I watch. Okay. And so
I love that trash TV.
They're very judgy on what I watch, but sometimes we use it for different things. So I might use it to escape my reality, or I might use it just like
entertainment.
Yeah, thinkless TV, right? So
it sure is thinkless TV.
But they might use it as something to compare their lives to. And so the thing about it is that, most of the time, what's on TV is things that sell or things that stay. And we are looking for something else. We're looking for drama, you know what I'm saying? And take our minds off of our own drama. And that's why we don't see enough positive representation of love and marriage, because it doesn't sell.
It doesn't sell. You're 100% right. And what's so crazy is that when people have that way of thinking that they don't see positive marriages and they don't want to be married because the marriages, everybody's going to cheat. And then you have the men that come in and say, well, why sit there and be with a man that you're going to cheat on you when you could just be in a poly relationship?
Oh my God. That's been big now.
This is how they get, because this is how they get that I'm watching it happen right before my eyes, that they're convincing these women who are saying all these men are going to do is cheat. There's no good men out there. There's no faithful men out there. Then here come the guy sneaking himself in. Well, just be in a poly relationship. If you're in a poly relationship, everybody understands what it is. You still get the love and respect from this man. You get somebody else there that's with you, that's willing to share and be there with. And it's all, what kills me about these poly relationships, these open relationships, it only benefits the men.
Of course.
You think about it, say, how does this benefit the women? How?
There's a throuple. I forgot the name, but it's I don't even remember their name, but it's a guy who used to be a pastor, and he has his two women, his wife that he's been with since high school. They broke up for 5 years. He got with another girl, and then they decided to all be in a throuple.
Really?
And so they're very big on. No, he's not no pastor no more. He's went through a self-discovery journey on what religion is and really trying to find the truth. So he's been seeking himself. So he has 3 children or 3 or 4 children from his first wife, but they're all together, and then they share days, and then they make seem like they're so aware and awoke. And I'm not saying that they don't all have connection. I'm pretty sure they all have connection. But like I said, foundationally, it's like the sharing. Like I don't necessarily want to share space. And why is it as people and women that we're okay with sharing space? So now I'm convinced. Now that the man is the head, right? And I'm convinced that we can share space. He can be the man. I don't need any other man. Most of the time, you're not going to see the thruples with the woman and her 2.
No,
you're going to see it with the man and the 2 women, and that's that stuff I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Why is it? I'm pretty sure there's some relationships out there like that, but what we see now on social media and playing out, it is these poly whatever situations, but it's the man that gets the access to the 2 because. In history and on TV and all that stuff, we see, that it's the man that feels like he needs to go out there and try it. Well, and I'm pretty sure she went out in those 5 years and tried to see if there was something else. But I can't say that I have my man that I've been with since high school. We break up and then I come back into a situation where he has somebody. We have the kids, and now we're all and they use it for, like they say, economic purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like economically, you bring something to the table, we bring something, you bring something to the table. It's just a setup to me.
And that's what kills me. It's like, first of all, you want to be in these poly relationships, you want to be the head, but your bank account probably don't even stretch enough for you to take care of everybody. So now I got to work too. You know what I mean? And then. But I'm just saying, a lot of these guys who does these poly relationships, they don't have a bank account that can afford to take care of 2 women. They just don't.
The woman has to come in with hers. She got to come in with hers. Well, so economically, help. Can you bring something to us?
Exactly. And it's just like, like I said, it's just that mindset of like, they're just tricking people into thinking that you can't find someone that would want just you. And it's a lie. It's a lie. It is a lie that they're telling. It's a lie. Such a lie.
It's a big lie.
I don't care what no man say. There's no man on this earth that can have the mental capacity to handle 2 women who are mad at your ass at the same time. That handle 2 women who can come off on your ass at the same time. What man can really handle that?
They can't even really handle one. How about that?
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, these poly relationships only benefit men, and they want to take about, the Bible was that way. That's how it always been. And I think about when the Bible, I say, you know what's so crazy? When we think about those times in the Bible, and this is just my way of thinking, I could be wrong. I'm not a theologist. I'm not a person who went to school for Bible and stuff like that. But my thinking is this: in the beginning, God was trying to populate the world, right? He created this world. He's populating the world. So you have multiple. He telling you to go be fruitful and populate, right? Be fruitful. So you have multiple women because why? We're trying to get the world filled up, everybody. We're trying to get people in the world. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why it probably started that way. We're trying to fill the world up. I created this entire world. All you people here are related. I gotta, try to find some other people who are not related and try to populate the world. So we gotta continue doing all this incest that we're doing, right? Because everybody's marrying each other, sisters and brothers. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to populate the world. And so I'm just like, but what I'm saying, but it's like at the same time, it's like, what's so crazy also about these poly relationships is that 2 women are sometimes not enough. Then they have to go get another, right? And then they want another.
Well, you know what? Let's
I don't know what is
you just
coming
not
to
satisfied.
World,
that's what I'm saying.
It just speaks to
what is this? What does that say about
satisfied
that?
with you? And
no.
That's most of us are not willing to really look at that Michael Jackson man in the mirror. I'm looking at the man in the mirror like that. Like the fact that my appetite it's called gluttony, right? My appetite is so strong. I have to be greedy. Most of us, and that we just living in a greedy world. And
it's sexual. It's not religion. It's not religious. It's sexual. It's your sexual appetite.
It's just the fact that I'm just not satisfied. People are not satisfied with, and they're not grateful with what they have. They always have to get more,
always.
do more. What are you thriving for? And it's crazy.
And why are you trying to thrive for all of that?
Right. And the thing about it is that most of us are not really even willing enough to ask our daily, what do I want today?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I want today? Like, what? Because now that if I wake up in the morning and say, what do I want today? Then my actions, because I don't know what I want and I just feel like I need, I'm unsatisfied, that we just keep on piling up more stuff. And that's what men, because they don't ask them, they're, first of all, a lot of times they're not even in a position to be vulnerable, right? Mm-hmm. So now to ask and look at myself really and say, my vulnerability tells me this, or what I really want tells me this, because I'm not doing it. I'm just working in gluttony. Yeah. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And guess what? You're not satisfying me right now. You're not enough. And really, when you have poly relationships or whatever they call it, it's at that moment. I'm not saying tomorrow, but at today, you're not enough.
Exactly.
You're not enough. And that's exactly what they're saying.
There's a series that's on, I think it's on Netflix that Jay was watching, and I was coming in and out of it. And it was basically about a lady who was married. She had everything. Her husband was perfect, making good money. She was a stay-at-home mom, 2 beautiful kids, and it wasn't enough. She kept thinking about one of her exes and went back. And at the end of the day, she ended up losing her entire family. He ended up marrying somebody else and having kids with somebody else. And it's like they kept trying to get back to each other. And it's like, I feel like it's stupid. It's like, what is wrong with you? It's like so many people would have loved to have some aspect of your life on this show, but you're willing to give it all up because you're selfish, all because because you are a nympho. Like, it's more to life than just sex. Now, sex is beautiful. Sex is great. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to give up my life just for sex.
But I don't even think it's about sex. That's what I'm saying. That is what they present with.
Exactly.
But it's not really about sex.
They have some internal issues that they really need to work.
That's a lack.
It's a lack thing.
It's a lack.
And you know what also it is too? As women, if we would just stand up and be like, no, they couldn't do it no more.
Right, on both sides. No as the other person. No
as the other person. But because men lead a lot of these poly relationships. If a woman said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. If enough of us stood up and said that,
they probably would.
Then that whole idea of it would be like, okay, I can't even do this. But I think that goes back to side women and mistresses and shit like that. If you would just stand up and say no, it wouldn't happen a lot. You know what I'm saying? But women, settle for whatever sometimes.
We're just a world of we just all jacked up.
We are. We ain't never gonna talk. It's never gonna solve it. But listen. You want to be in a poly relationship? That's on you.
That's on you.
Okay.
That's on you. Let's just say this. We ain't here to judge. We just here to discuss it.
Yeah, we're just discussing it. And you know what? That's right. I'm not here to judge because whatever works for you works for you. Yeah, but I'm not here to judge. But please don't bring religion. Please don't talk about Christianity and God when you talk about poly relationships. That's the only thing I don't want to hear. Keep the religion out of it and just talk about your own selfish ways. Because they do. They really do.
There's so much about God and the relationship with God and your own relationship with that's a whole
other show
within itself. Yeah,
it really is.
We can go in.
And speaking of Netflix, Chris Rock came out with his new stand-up comedy.
Yes.
And
you know what?
I think it's called Selective Outrage. Okay. I didn't even get to watch it yet.
Selective Outrage. I saw some of it. I did see some of it. And you know what? Chris Rock is funny. He's always been funny. You know what I'm saying? I think it's been a while since we've seen him on TV doing stand-up. It's been a minute. But he's funny. He did touch on the Will Smith thing.
Let it go.
He did.
Let it go, man.
He touched on it. And he, it was really funny. You could tell it's still a sore subject for him. You know what I mean? Because he's a grown-ass man that got slapped the shit out of national TV.
In public.
I understand
national TV.
I get it. But
in front of everybody.
I get it. But is Will still talking about this? Will ain't even talking about it. But I can understand.
He lost a lot over this.
Right. But I understand why Chris Rock is upset. He is a grown-ass man and he got slapped in public. I get it. And then after that, all his friends didn't even support him. They basically went to Will Smith's party, right?
Yeah,
and be like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
Not them going to the party, but it was a mistake. I think the way that Will flaunted it a little bit, like,
of course,
hey, this is how we do
it did.
Okay.
And it backfired on him later.
Yeah, because I
love Will. I love both of them, to be honest.
I do, but I wish that they would come to a point where they can actually sit down as men and talk about it and and move forward. I know what you're saying.
Chris said.
I know.
Listen, Chris said on
that
the
means
show,
they gotta fight it out. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but you know, they're not gonna fight out because Chris said Will is like 10 times fucking size bigger than him.
Right.
He played Muhammad Ali, y'all. Okay,
Right.
Will is a big guy. He said I played Pookie. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. That's
I played Pookie.
One rib.
One rib. And so Will is a big guy compared to Chris. He was like, you know, he really supported Will a lot. You know, Will was his boy. He's put everything he do. But of course, this really changed his relationship with him.
That was just hard.
He felt like what Will did, he said, Will took out on me what he probably wanted to take out on his wife, because who sits down on national TV and talks to the person who cheated on him about a damn entanglement? You know what I mean? So you're angry maybe about that, and then you come here talking about me when you're really angry with your wife.
I gotta watch it. I do gotta watch it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Do you know if that was that? I think that was recorded in the DMV, right?
Oh yeah, wherever he went, I think wherever he toured,
I can't remember.
I think he. Yes, it was. I think it was taped here.
To go see the show.
And you didn't go?
Yeah. So what happened is that we got a friend of ours sent an email and said, hey, they're looking for some seat fillers, right? And
yeah.
But you had to send in your picture and give your information, a casting call to sit in the audience, because, you know, and of course it's on a weekday. You know, it's very hard for me because I got to run around.
Yeah, weekday.
And you know, my husband was at work, and so he would have to literally, you know, take off early, and I didn't feel like going away to Baltimore. And so you were telling us it's a famous person. I know, right? We should have done it. But
I don't know. I don't know where it was. It could have been Chris. But you know what? It was big for Netflix. It was big for Netflix because it was their first ever live stream show. So it was a live stream. So it was a really big deal for them, and they plan on doing more of those. But, you know, I thought it was funny. Chris is always funny. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the full show. I just saw a few pieces of it. And a few pieces I saw, he was funny. Like, Chris Rock is funny, man. You can't even deny that.
You can't.
He is.
He's one rib for life for me.
I mean, but he's done so many things, and he's been funny in all his. Why did
I get married? That was good.
That was really good.
He played in Fargo, which is a show that I watch sometimes, and he can play a serious character really well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can play a comedian really well. You know what I'm saying? Like, he plays, he's all right, you know, but that slap, that's just gonna last forever. I mean,
unfortunately,
we're never gonna forget it.
We're probably not, but I don't know if you knew this, but there's a movie that the same exact thing happened. So I'm kind of on the fence about. It's like a clip that I saw from something years ago, and it's the same exact way it acted out. Like,
did they find out that was like a reenactment?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that I heard and I saw it. You know, that it's a reenactment.
I thought it wasn't real. I thought they both played this out like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and it's gonna last, and we're gonna ride this out. I didn't really think it was real at first. I thought it was probably something like come on, but you probably thought it was a stunt at first. You think it was like, okay, this is part of the show.
No, but it really was a reenactment.
No, it wasn't part of the show.
It really was a reenactment.
They really smacked the shit out of Chris. Like,
I mean, it's hard, and I think it's even more hurtful when it comes from somebody you respect.
Yeah, and I think that's the part right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
That's the main part right there.
Well, I will be checking it out, and also,
here's the thing. It's very harsh what they did. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. He could have, had an assault charge or whatever.
He could have.
So he did get off. I mean, but I guess his some of his deals went away and all that other stuff. But it happens where we feel like we're untouchable and we live in this altered reality.
That is right.
We don't have to. We don't have to live by certain code because we have a lot of money, we have a lot of influence, and we have a lot of access. And really, that's a lesson for even as high as you can go, as you get higher and higher, still be a human being.
Be humble.
Be a human being. Be humble. Have compassion, and remember you black.
Have compassion.
Okay? Remember you black. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
You black. I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody say. At the end of the day, black people, we got to move differently. Nobody can say no matter what level you get to, they will tear your ass down.
Always be that way.
People can do all this weird stuff, right? And still be okay. Mm-hmm. But a black person, they would tear your ass down. They would take everything away from you. No matter what level you get, remember you black. Okay.
Exactly.
We'll realize he was black then.
Stay in your seat.
Right.
Exactly what they saying.
His influence and access.
Yep. got taken away. He got banned from the Oscars for 10 years.
10 years.
Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares
but
anyway. But I'm just saying, because people boycotting the Oscars anyway.
Culturally, we were side-eyeing him. He
we saw a lot of Will. We saw him in a lot of movies, and now we don't see that many movies of him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
he did an excellent job.
Be careful.
But maybe this is an opportunity to give back, right? So now that I've gone low, I've fallen. Not only did you go low, but you fell low. This is an opportunity that he can maybe regain some of his stuff. Is now to give to have maybe intermingle with people who you can teach what you've known and what you've learned.
Teach something.
Think about this as an opportunity to give back in a certain way, where you give people access to what you've learned and people who are creatives, and maybe you get in get just help a little bit more. Before you couldn't make a call to Will. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these,
I'm sure. But
maybe, right? So
you have an easier chance, right?
This is
not very active on social media too. So I follow Will on social media. So he's
I
still very active.
do follow him. But he was actually in an excellent movie on Apple TV. It has to do with the
right?
And that was really good. I must say.
You know what? I wish I don't have Apple TV, but it seems like they got a lot of good shows on there that I want to watch.
I mean,
let's not get into that conversation because I feel very stripped of everything.
Yeah, I know. I don't have Apple.
Let's just talk about.
You're right. So let's talk about assault charges. Let's talk about.
Let's be my venting session today.
I know. Let's move on. I want to talk about Tim Norman of Sweetie Pies. Being convicted of double life sentencing for plotting to kill his nephew. I mean, let's just talk about this story for a minute. Because I used to watch Sweetie Pies. We watched it, Jackie. I don't know, Nicole, you watched Sweetie Pies?
I watched all seasons.
When I tell you, I was so shocked to hear that he actually did this to his nephew. And now it makes you think about when Jen put those restraining orders against him and how he was acting. And now it makes me feel like
now you understand.
Crazy,
but he wasn't.
You are a killer.
Yeah,
and you killed your nephew.
Your nephew.
And you kill your nephew
for some insurance money.
For insurance money when you already have a successful business.
Yeah, but this is what happens when you don't have a relationship with
the Lord.
The Lord
Jesus Christ.
Okay. At the end of the day,
you don't answer to something that's more powerful than
Jesus.
You. I'm just saying that I whoever religion is what their religion is, but at every point there's something and someone that you answer to. When you feel like you don't have to answer to anything more powerful or bigger than you, then your judgment is off.
That's a big
Your judgment
problem.
is off. And then you plot to kill. You hire someone to kill your nephew for insurance money. And I remember his nephew on the show. He had a lot of struggles, you know what I'm saying, with his life, but he was trying to get himself together. Oh my God, is that your doorbell?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm going to mute because the dog is about to go.
Just trying to just looking at his nephew on the show and seeing him and seeing how they interact with each other. It was just so shocking that he really did this. You really killed your nephew, and now you in jail. When you used to be the guy that used to give people who come out of jail, because he's been in jail before, right? Tim was in jail before. And so you were the guy that would give people who would come out of jail, you would give them jobs at Sweetie Pies to help them get on their feet. But now you're going to you're never getting out of prison. Like never. 2 life sentences. You're never getting out. You have completely ruined your life over some goddamn insurance money.
And how much money did he even get for the insurance money? Did he even get anything?
He didn't get nothing. I don't even know.
Ain't nothing worth your life in jail or
and
life
nothing
period.
Worth killing your own nephew.
That's stupid.
That goes to show the reformation or reformation, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
People who have been in prison before. You came out in real life, in real time, and on some street stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Obviously, when you went away for them 10 years before, you had a problem. And you came out. I don't know if y'all remember, he had did this thing. Oh, hold on. Please go get Brownie. Please go get Brownie. They did this thing on Oprah. Remember when he was very emotional and transparent about his issues or whatever. But there was no help after that, or maybe he didn't know he should seek help or all this other stuff. But there was some mental.
Lifing.
But you know what? That goes back to what you said though, Nikki, about Black men not getting help for their issues and mental health, right. Not getting therapy, not going through whatever they need in order to help themselves. That relates to that, Jack.
Yeah, but it's like the blind leading the blind. You know, we weren't raised, a lot of us weren't raised in a family that you can see the man being the head of the household and taking care of the family and seeing the dynamics and what it's supposed to look like. That's why we got these people trying to do these malignant, whatever relationships and trying to act like staying at home and the women out there working is the way to go. I'm like, come on, man. I don't understand. Yeah. We need some help out here. And, I'm praying for change. I'm praying for change. We can't
hear your mic is off.
Your mic is
still off.
It's like you need a rebuild, because it's like the thing about it is that, can you imagine his mother who she built her brand, like she
I feel so bad for his mom.
I mean, and now it's
his children.
The last the last years of her life is now spent with this thing. It's kind of like
she already lost one son, and now she don't lost you.
Right, too. And so she was supporting him, and she still wanted to fight for his honor, even though, right? And as a mom, that's what we do, fight for your children's honor and all that other stuff. But can you believe that? Like, that's just terrible that not only is her life work as having her restaurant is looked at crazy now, you know what I'm saying? And now she has to go into her retirement this way.
With that on her,
And that was the family. I enjoyed watching that show.
I did too. I really did.
Restaurant. I went to
look at that.
Yes, I tasted the food. The food was excellent.
You see, I'm saying, so it's like a whole legacy. Now this is on your legacy. So it would have been probably better off. So, and it's crazy about life, because it was his idea to put them on TV. So it's like you have a good mind, and because
he did have a good business mind.
He had a good business mind. So but it's to the point where your mind is so good it's bad. It's the greed.
Also, it's so crazy. And it goes back to what you said too about it not being enough.
It's not enough.
We live in a society where people are not satisfied. It's like it's that microwave society. You want it now, but it's not enough. It's not fulfilling. You eat that McDonald's, that fast food McDonald's. You eat it, but then you're not full, so you want more. You want more. You want more.
Like, you literally put your family in, which made a whole lot of sense. Your mother had a legacy. She was Tina Turner's background dancer, singer, and then he helped her, give her the idea to release more music, and he had a great mind when it came to that. But then your mind that's what I'm saying. Your mind could be so powerful and great. It's like, if you use it for the wrong thing,
forget about it.
I'm pretty sure if you now calculated where you needed insurance money and you did all of this, I'm pretty sure you just waited a little bit more, thought a little bit more. You could have thought of something good
to make the real money.
To make that money.
Yep. To make that money
it's like when it's the desperate. It's a desperate mind, and that's what you have to be careful of. A desperate mind. That's a good statement right there. And that goes back into relationships with men and women, all that. It's the desperation.
It's desperation.
Come on, this show is kind of taking a turn. Like, I know we're supposed to be gossiping, but let's get down to when I talk about something, I always go deep. Like, look,
no, it does. It gets deep when it does. It gets deep. It does. It really do, man.
There's always something deeper than the surface. What's really on the surface.
It's greed. It's desperation. It's the making of a good thriller. And people mental capacities, man, they mental state of minds. You know what I'm saying? And now, speaking of mental state of minds, let's talk about how Malaysia says she's done with Basketball Wives. Oh wow!
And she cited that her mental state can no longer handle the show, so she has to walk away. And it's simply because this season she's been getting a lot of flack. I don't know why people are so concerned with Malaysia. This season, the women are all coming at her in different ways. Her best friend Brandy, they're no longer friends anymore, and she don't know what happened with that relationship. But every time she come around the ladies on Basketball Wives, it's always an issue. People are always coming at her. And so her choosing to leave the show was a really big shock, I think, even to the cast, because they didn't know this was going to happen. And she just kind of walked in and just told them, I can no longer be a part of the show. But what's so crazy, she's been a part of the show for 10 years. I didn't even know that.
She was one of the originals.
Yeah, she was.
One of the originals.
And she felt like it's time.
She's been fighting, I think, since season 1.
She has.
Because remember,
she really has. She got into that fight with, what is her name? Gloria's sister. And she has been fighting, but it's just like the last few seasons, people have really been like on her in her business. She's been going through a lot with her children, her ex-husband not being supportive financially, the divorce. So, she's just been going through a lot. But allegedly they say that she's supposed to be dating Pastor Jamal Bryant. Allegedly.
Really?
They say the house she's in is what he helped her get, allegedly. I love that allegedly.
I'm not gonna call him the pastor of growth for real, because he want to grow in his church.
They say he gets around. They say he used to. They say he used to deal with Phaedra too, and that's why Giselle doesn't like Phaedra Parks.
Oh, I saw him in Anne Arundel one day.
But I
was like, oh, that's Pastor Jamal Bryant. He was dressed to the nines. Brownie, I'm gonna need you to be quiet.
Listen. Pastor Jamal get around. Okay, he gets around. Like Tupac say, I get around. Get round and round. He get around to be a pastor. He get around.
We could tell he got a lot of kids, a lot of baby mamas. So but he loved the Lord.
He does, but remember he was dating Tweet for a long time too. Remember he was dating Tweet, the girl Tweet. He was dating her for a long time.
He was dating Tweet.
He did.
Yep. He was.
Yeah, we haven't heard from her in a minute.
But back to Malaysia, I get it.
Yeah, I do.
When your mental health is compromised, you got to do whatever you can
to get that back.
To stop, drop, and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like the fire's about to go down, you burning. You better stop, drop, and roll, and get yourself aligned. Maybe later on she will come back, but that's when you have to know your limit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think so too.
Like, and if you're in an environment that causes for you for the best sell is your worst moments, then you need to remove yourself. Because if
that's a good way of putting it.
The TV is my worst moment, and I cannot mentally handle that, then I gotta stop, drop, and roll.
And that's what she said, because she no longer wanted to be around the group of women anymore, and she no longer wanted to deal with them. And I think it's a good move for her too, just to move on. I'm pretty sure she's going to move on and do some other stuff. But like you said, if your mental state can't handle it, then you have to move on. But one thing we didn't talk about was Shawnee, and her getting married to the pastor and her little new lifestyle that she has. And one thing I didn't know,
we were in her class, remember?
Yeah, you were in her class. One thing I didn't know is that I didn't know they had a show around it. I don't know if it was.
No. Well,
she never saw it. I see it on Instagram, but I didn't see it on TV.
What they did is repurpose their life events. So she's smart. She's all look. Once you're a producer, you're always a producer. So she recorded her wedding and the moments leading up to it and all that stuff like a show, so that they can have memories, and then shopped it. So I think that they just did it in a TV format, but whether it got picked up or not, it was just a great memory. Exactly. It just so happens they repurposed their moment, and they had the show that come out. Yep. Which was great.
It was 3 episodes. It was 3 episodes.
Oh, so 3 episodes. Okay. Because I didn't know, but I was just happy for her to get married. You know what I'm saying? That she found love and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
I'm happy for her too. And they seem like a really. I mean, there's always a story behind the story.
Exactly.
But
there's a lot of stories behind her husband too.
Yeah. They're saying a lot, but you know what?
There's some weird stories. I don't even know. It's weird.
But you know what?
Trafficking, it's weird.
I didn't hear that.
Yes, I did. I saw it. I don't know. Allegedly. I don't know.
I never heard anything.
Me neither.
Girl, I've been on TikTok, and when I get on TikTok, I go down them holes deep. You know what I'm saying? And
I be going down those deep.
You go down them rabbit holes. You really do. And I saw this thing come up, and I was completely shocked by it. I don't know how true it is. I don't know anything.
It can't be true.
But, this woman is claiming that he put her into trafficking and passes her amongst other men, other pastors and stuff like that. I mean, mind you, the woman came on the thing talking about it. You do see pictures of her with him and Yolanda Adams and stuff like that. And she came on saying that she needs help. Her life is not her own anymore. I don't know how true it is. I really don't. That's why I ain't really bring it up. But
I don't think
there's been some chatter about that. You know what I'm saying? But and people who are where his church is are saying that, you know, they've been hearing this about him for a long time. This is what I've seen. I don't know. And I was like, Sean ain't gonna marry no trafficker. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you know, sometimes we don't know who we marry, but I was more thinking of like, you know, being in past relationships and
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about no trafficking.
They were saying that he likes a certain caliber of women, you know, somebody that brings something to the table, like his ex-wife had, you know, like
who's his ex-wife? I don't even know who's ex-wife.
I don't remember her name, but I saw something like that online. But the other stuff I never saw, and so we gonna say allegedly. We hope.
Yeah, listen, this is all allegedly. This is not anything that is true, this is just what people are putting out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
But my experience with them in a setting where I did their course, I enjoyed the two of them. I thought that they brought a lot of information to the table.
They did.
But you know, I can't speak on. I didn't even hear this, Sean. So this is.
Yeah, I ain't never heard that either.
And I saw it a few months ago, and when I saw it, I was just like, and that's how I found out that Shawnee had the show. Is when I saw that one, I was like, well, let me go over to her page. I just don't believe this at all. And like I said, especially when it comes to grown ass women, you know, it's hard to believe some of that stuff sometimes. Right. But people, you know, some people in his city just saying like they're saying, well, you just don't know a person. You don't know who he really is. Y'all, you people don't know. You don't live in the city. And I'm just like, you're right. I don't. And I'm not, you know, I'm not alleging anything. I'm not, but I'm just like, that one was really hard to believe. It was really hard to believe, to put that out about somebody.
Let's speak to, and I don't know this woman's experience, but if this is not true, then how horrible it is that you are trying to go on with your life, do new things, build up your stuff, and then there's always somebody to come and try to down it. Now, I'm only speaking on if this is not true. If it is true, then that's a whole nother thing that we have to speak to that we just don't know.
We just don't know.
Who are in front of us.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So but that just shows you like the exposure of things and the line.
When you in the public eye, this is kind of stuff people can come out. People can come out with you. Stuff like that. It's scary. It really is.
It's very scary. People twist and turn things all the time when you're in the public eye. I'd rather be on a panel talking about something that I've gone through or something that I may have some expertise about, but I'm not. No, I'm sorry. I can't do it. But speaking of that, Shawnee's still friends with Evelyn Lozado. And, you know, I believe that she's supposed to be coming out in a new show. Is that correct?
She is. She's coming out with a new show. It's her, it's Tamar, and it's Nivea. I think it's Nivea.
I remember Nivea.
They're supposed to be doing a dating show because one of the shows I'm going to talk about premiering is called Holly Robinson. It's called The Queen's Court. And they're going to try to find Holly Robinson P and her and her husband both are going to be hosting the show. And they're going to try to help them find love. Now, we know Evelyn, for some reason, allegedly,
basketball wise of Miami, right?
Cannot find a man, cannot stick with a man to save her life. I don't know what's the problem.
With them for a while, and then something happens.
I don't know what's going on
with the baseball player.
Because she was supposed to marry him, and that didn't happen.
He was cheating, from what I heard.
Oh.
And that's the whole thing. Like, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are. It doesn't matter how much access you are. Like, people that feel like they just need more, and that's the whole thing. More. Like I think that maybe the goal should be to find somebody you feel is very satisfied with their life.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
That's probably is the goal.
That's the thing. Like, because you can have a lot of money and still not be satisfied,
and not be satisfied, and not be happy.
Gotta be quiet. I'm
not be satisfied and happy. But yeah, so it's called The Queen's Court. I don't really know when it's going to air. They haven't gave it a date yet. But they're going to have like 21 guys come on and try to see if they can handle the fame and of course the whatever else comes with being dating women who are in the public eye. So it should be interesting. You know what I mean? I might try to watch it. It's going to be on Peacock. Right?
Yeah, Peacock.
Peacock is getting all the shows.
Okay,
you know,
they're doing good. It's doing good.
And Peacock has sprouted up out of nowhere and
isn't it NBC?
All the shows.
That's NBC,
NBC?
Right?
I don't know.
Peacock. I thought it was like the streaming platform for NBC.
Oh, I didn't know.
Maybe they are.
But they're just like allegedly.
But one
so
of
they're
them,
getting everything.
they got some good stuff.
That is,
they're
doing
doing
really well.
Mm-hmm.
They got some
really
good stuff.
do.
I know we spoke
They
about
really
Fresh
do.
Prince of Bel-Air. They got some new episodes, and that show is
That's good.
Listen,
I love
don't
it.
you love the way they tell this story?
I love it.
That's a good show.
Think about the original
Love
series
it.
with Will Smith. We're going to talk about Will Smith. The original series with Will Smith, you know what I'm saying? And how it was then. And now to see it now, it's like on a whole nother level.
Whole nother level.
I like the show. That's a good one.
Listen, I really love that brother that they got playing Jeffrey. Okay?
I know.
Do you see Jeffrey?
Yeah. Jeffrey.
He's a lot of Jeffrey is handsome. Jeffrey is dressed to the nine. Jeffrey got real swag. Jeffrey on the original never had fucking swag. Never had swag like that. But this Jeffrey here, this Jeffrey is fine as shit, and he got swag all day long.
Yes, he does.
And I love his accent. Okay?
Yes. And since we went away this weekend, I got a lot of shows to catch up on.
Well, let's not talk about that.
I like about Bel-Air. Let me just say one thing. You know what I love about Bel-Air? That one, it's a cast of dark-skinned people. Do you understand that? Like, no, I'm just saying, like, no, let's be real. Let's just be honest here.
A cast of dark. I never even looked at it that way.
It's a beautiful.
I'm just saying, like, we rarely. It's rare that you see a cast of dark-skinned, beautiful people.
Dark-skinned black people.
I'm just saying, like, it really is, and that's what that's what I think I like most about it. That they pick.
I never paid attention to that.
Because when we black people, we don't. But it stands out because of that. It really do. That the lead woman is dark-skinned, the lead man is dark-skinned, the kids. It really says a lot. Mm-hmm. It really do. So kudos to them for making that, because the original, Ashley is light skinned. Of course, she's, and
I mean, all shades are beautiful.
Thank you.
All shades are beautiful, but I'm just saying, like, that's we see the elevation of it's colorism. We know it's colorism exists within our community,
right? We understand that.
So when we see a cast that leads and they're all darker skinned, black people, we're like, kudos for us. Finally, you know what I'm saying? Kudos for us. But it's a great show. I love it. So there, two episodes are already out. So make sure you guys check it out on Peacock.
Yeah,
they got all the goddamn shows.
I need to talk to Peacock. Because I got some shows.
Like Peacock is taking a lot of shows right now. You should, because they're taking a lot of shows.
Peacock. You do.
Peacock got all the housewives shows now. Like, Peacock is doing it. They're doing all the movies. Mm-hmm. They're really trying to give Netflix a run for their money.
You should. And there's another one, Hulu too. Don't sleep on Hulu. You need to contact Hulu too. Hulu too. What's that? Hulu.
I love Hulu.
Yeah,
I love Hulu. Hulu's my joint.
Conversations to have.
Yes,
me too. Okay, speaking of shows, let's talk about Mary J. Blige has a new talk show. It's called The Wind Down. It's on BET. Even I don't even care much of BET, but whatever. It's on BET. It premiered March 1st. I just don't.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
BET really.
We love BET. Stop it.
I mean, I used to. I really did. Now I feel like BET programming is just like, I don't know, it just sucks to me. I don't know.
She talking about how shows look.
That's only shared by Shawnee.
That's only shared by
Shawnee. That's my point. That's my opinion.
That's not shared by the whole panel.
Yeah, that's my opinion. Black entertainment television, y'all need to do better for black people. But
gotta do better for black people.
Do love the new Mary show. Like, first of all, we're huge Mary friends, right? You know what I'm saying? Yes. We love to see Mary. Yes. And so far she had 50 Cent, Young Miami, and Tahaji on the show. And she feel like this show is a representation of her just sitting down, being able to really be herself and just have conversation with her friends. You know what I mean? And we got to check it out on BT, and it premiered on the 1st. And so I think it's 2 episodes out already, but it's supposed to be really good. So I'm happy about that.
Okay. I can't wait to watch it. I haven't watched it, but then we're not going to have a conversation because, like I said, I have a gripe. There's so much I need to catch up on.
You got to catch up on it. And what also is premiering, which is what I'm super excited about. It's going to be premiere on May 4th. Is Bridgerton. It's coming back, baby. Okay, it is coming back. What? I love Bridgerton. It's coming back. I do. I love it. And it's coming back. And this time, this season is going to be called Queen Charlotte. So they're going to talk about the queen and how she became the queen.
Oh, yes.
Of Bridgerton. Yes, she is. So she's the Black Queen. And we get to now see her story on how she became who she is. And it looks like, listen, you guys can go Google it. The trailer is up. The trailer looks super amazing. I cannot wait for it. May 4th.
I'll come over and watch it. Over and watch it.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of the seasons of Bridgerton? Have you watched any seasons?
You need to catch up on Bridgerton.
At your house.
But you don't watch it at all by yourself.
You don't watch it at all by yourself.
Question, really?
From start to finish. Jackie, from start to finish. From start to finish, Jackie, have you watched it?
So wait, what are you saying?
From beginning to end.
That she falls asleep?
Of course Jackie's going to fall asleep.
That's not what I'm saying. I will fall asleep. I will.
You know, if she can watch it during the
trying to put me out there like that.
I'm just saying, if she watch it during the daytime, she'll watch it. If you get her at 6:00, she's not gonna watch it.
We need to watch it all together in the middle of the day when it's sunny out, so Jackie can watch it.
So you go through the first season and you go through the second season,
right?
And then over here, that's a whole other conversation.
That's good. That is another conversation.
And my life freedoms have been stripped from me. But that's going to take us back into a conversation about marriage, and we're not.
It is. But listen, because we're gonna end the show soon because we're it's time. It's time. So I want to get to the toxic relationship of the week, and it's not necessarily a relationship; it's a friendship, or allegedly. So, reality TV star Natalie Young and Tommy. You know, Natalie is from Bad Girls Club. Tommy is from Atlanta. What is it?
Sort of fight.
From the Atlanta show, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Yeah, so they're supposed to fight. But before we talk about, let's talk about. They did? Okay, let's talk about Zeus Network. Number one,
Zeus Network. That's the network who Bad Girls Club is on, right?
Yes, I feel like Zeus Network is
it's a remake of the Bad Girls Club.
It is. I feel like Zeus Network is like your hood friend. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, it is.
It's your hood friend because it gives nothing but the hood shows. Yeah. And to be honest with you, Natalie owns that damn network. Like she must be co-owner with the guy or something because everything is centered around her because they're coming out with a new show on the network and it's called Baby Mamas of Los Angeles.
Oh my goodness.
Listen.
And she's going to be on it.
Who's going to be on it?
Natalie is going to be on it.
Natalie. No, she has become the new Shawnee or the new
she's for the Zeus Network.
Let me tell you something. She's in her bag.
She is.
All the baddies. That's her show.
Yep.
The men show. They did like a spinoff of the men.
They did.
That's in her bag. She's doing. There was another show she did. So she's in her bag, like as an executive producer.
She is. She is
Zeus right now.
That's what I said. She is like owns that shit with this guy.
Yeah,
like she owns it.
She's risen from the ashes because she's kept herself from that Bad Girls Club. She's done like a lot of like the VH1, the couple.
Yeah, she did. She tried to stay
she kept herself
in people's eyesight.
Wow. And but I think she knows the difference between reality and reality when we talked about that because I saw a live that she was talking about. She has her husband who's kind of stays out the public eye. And she says, who I am at home is different than who I am on TV. So she's learned how to
balance it.
And now make a bag out of.
Yeah. You know, I mean, because like I said, the whole thing with her and Tommy in the fight, first of all, I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. Like, really? You know what I mean? Like, only Zeus Network would do this. Of course, people watched it. I didn't watch it yet, but I just thought it was stupid. But I have seen clips of her and Tommy already fighting. We already know how violent Tommy is. You know what I'm saying? And Natalie is just outweighs her in terms of like, she's just a bigger girl than she is. So I don't know how Jackie, do you know how the fight went? Do you know who won?
Natalie won. But
of course Natalie, she did.
I want to see
Natalie's
it.
an athlete, and she said
she was.
She said I told her like you will sign this contract, and yes, they got a lot of money for it. Right?
They did.
So she said, but I take this kind of stuff seriously. So it goes into commitment and structure and
she trained for it. They show her training.
Yeah, she trained for it. And but Tommy didn't take it as serious.
She did,
and so she got whooped up. She even felt she was so tired she fell to the ground, and they didn't want her to get whooped up no more. Now she did. Did she get pulverized? No, but she couldn't last. She didn't
take it serious. She did. I can tell because Tammy, and you know what Natalie said to her, like, this is a boxing fight. You used to street fighting. And that's different. You know what I'm saying? And you got to go round for round. You know what I'm saying? With street fighting, the shit, you just fight until it's over. That's just it. You know, you don't go necessarily all these different rounds with it. But Natalie kept saying, I'm an athlete. And she don't know. I'm I'm much larger than her. And she going to get all this work. And I was just like,
I can't wait to see it.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I got to see it. But listen, this has been a good show.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot in this show. Okay.
Sure
so
did.
The people, the audience is going to get a mouthful this time around.
Like this time around, it's like
they're going to get a meal, not a mouthful, a meal.
They're going to get a meal because we went there and back and we spent it and we talked about all kinds of things. So listen, guys, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us. Make sure you guys come back. We'll release another episode of You're Not Invited. I am Shawnee Sanders.
And I am Nikki the Virgin.
Oh, Lord, hold on. We got to do this over.
I knew Jackie was going to do that.
You can't pause.
I knew Jackie was going to
pause. Then I'm going to jump in because I'm like, no dead space.
But we went the same way in the beginning. I figured you would know that.
Right.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Right. I am Shawnee Sanders.
And I am Nikki the Virgin.
And I'm Jack Sams.
And this is You're Not Invited. We will see you next time.